Okay, you know what Toyota? Yeah, a well-known, a famous car maker corporation. Okay, now I want you to imagine that you lived in 1990s and you were looking for an affordable car that had a high quality. Then the only option that was offered to you was Toyota's product. Then at the time in 1989, Toyota just released a new car called Lexus. And if you thought that you were about to purchase a Lexus car from Toyota, I probably would halt you in purchasing Lexus because in 2009 there was an accident that involved Toyota's car, particularly Lexus car. Okay, chronologically, there were a four passenger driving with the Lexus car were about go to the San Diego, and when they were approaching the intersection and the driver was about to push the brake pedal, then the driver just realized that there was no brake pedal in a Lexus car. So immediately they got crashed, and all of the passengers were killed at a time because of the crash in 2009. And that news spread widely and shocked every people around the world, because how can a company, a car maker company, a Toyota corporation, which known as a car maker company that prioritize quality and prioritize safety, could had those small flaws in its car. So probably the answer nestled in its transition of the presidents of Toyota company itself. Okay, I'll tell you from the start. Initially, Toyota company was established by a Toyoda's family, especially Kichiro Toyoda. Kichiro Toyoda at the time had a strong interest in automobile industry, and he just discovered many opportunities were available in automobiles industry. Then in 1937, Toyota Motor Corporation was established, and 10 years later, to be exact, in 1947, Toyota's corporation could produce 100 cars. So yeah, it sounds amazing, right? Okay, of course, many organization had an executive team, and it also did to Toyota. Toyota had their own executive team that burdened with a series of strategy, decision making, and anything related to the management. And at the time, the executive team of Toyota were discussing about the principles that would be applied to the production system of Toyota car. And there were three major principles that was initiated by the executive team. First, by producing a product with a high quality, with a superior quality, by eliminating defects or flaws. Okay, this means that Toyota had to make sure that the supplier of the component that later would build up the Toyota car had to be in a high quality condition. Then, but the term of eliminating defect system refers when in the production process were detected a problem in that machine. Okay, if there was a problem detected in the production process, it can it can it can easily appear in a, like a display board. And because of that system, the employee of Toyota could easily and immediately stop that process. And then after stopped the production process, the employees could repair the problem and continue the production process. And for the second and the third principles, sound similar because it's both stated reducing waste and cutting inventory. Yeah, and those principles lead to a just-in-time manufacture. Okay, just-in-time manufacture reflects that Toyota only produced a car when it was needed and in amount that was also needed. Okay, it sounds great because imagine if Toyota produce 100, 1,000, or even a million car in a year, and the car was not sold, and the cars were not sold entirely in that year. And after 10 years passed by, the cars were no longer suit with the model and the design, and nobody want to purchase that cars. And beside of the production system, Toyota also empower their worker. There was a system called creative idea suggestion. Okay, this means that there was a form from the executive team of Toyota. There was a form that was accessible to every worker in Toyota's plant, and every worker could fill out the form with a suggestion, with a recommendation regarding to the production process in order to create a better production process. And as a result, the product of Toyota was highly in a good quality or even in a best quality. And after several operations, Toyota marked the 20th birthday by establishing a Toyota Motor Cells in USA. And at the time, the company, the Toyota's company in USA introduced a car called Toyota Crown. But unfortunately, the Toyota Crown didn't fulfill the American taste until the Land Cruiser and Corolla and Corona were suit with American taste, and those three cars known as a car that were reliable in the USA because the car offered an advanced technology. So yeah, next, because the fact that is US had a strong sentiment of anti-import, a strong investment of anti-import. Then there was a policy in the USA that limited the of number of Toyota's car that that were exported to the USA. Yeah, there was a limitation. So, like think Toyota thought how to overcome, how to address this issue, and on the other hand, Toyota Toyota wanted to compete with, like a well-known brand from Germany such as Mercedes, yeah, like a luxury vehicle. Simply Toyota wanted to compete with a luxury vehicle. Then, and addressing those two challenges, Toyota successfully released a luxury vehicle in in 1989, and the luxury vehicle was Lexus. Yeah, Lexus by Toyota. But unfortunately, like in 1995, the economy of Japan was highly experienced an extreme downturn. Then the global market share of Toyota entirely lost. Then suddenly, like the Corolla design no longer suit with the American taste at the time. And worstly, the president of Toyota at the time was passed away because of stroke. And yeah, the control was took over by the other person, the other the other person. Yeah, simply the president was not from the Toyota's family. Yeah, and after that, Toyota's was was led by Watanabe and Fujioto Watanabe. And at the time, Watanabe and Fujioto wanted to, like alter the principle of the Toyota itself, because previously there was a strong principle that was held by Toyota, which was improving continuously. But the control, after the control held by the Watanabe and Fujiocho, they wanted to alter those principles by, like expand the Toyota's market all over the countries in this world. And in order to realize and ex- and ex- and realize to create um, a market that is widely spread all over the countries, Watanabe like press the cost of material that built up the Toyota's car. Like simply, Watanabe wanted to save 1 billion US dollar over 6 years, and that that money would be utilized to expand the Toyota's company and every country in this world. Yeah, because like Watanabe reducing the cost of the material. For instance, the component of car holder should be consist of 35 components or 34 components. Then it reduced to the 5 components. So it means there were only five components, five materials, and creating only a car holder. But okay, at the time, the strategy of Watanabe was succeed. They could, Toyota could earn a high profit and return back their global market share to the to 5%. But the production continue a minimum with a minimum component, and suddenly the quality of Toyota car was highly highly decreased. Then a brand from South Korea, yeah, Hyundai outscored the Toyota's car because, yeah, Toyota reduced the cost, the cost regarding to material, regarding to component of the car. Then the quality of Toyota car was extremely decreased. Then there was a competitor that outscored the quality of Toyota. Okay, this also this also encourage like why Toyota's car experience a low quality under the Watanabe control, because again back to the goal that was Watanabe initiated, stated Toyota had to expand the company all over the world, all over the country in this world. So yeah, Watanabe produced many cars like Watanabe prioritized quantity over quality. Yeah, Watanabe prioritized quantity. So Toyota at the time produced many cars, then it was distributed to many countries. But then a member of Toyota's family, which was Akio Toyoda in 2005, like stated his concern about the sustainability of the Toyota itself. He stated that Toyota had to back to the initial principles that prioritize quality over quantity. But at the time, because Akio Toyoda was not a president, his statement was easily neglected. And yeah, in October 2007, there was a consumer report that stated, there was a spike, like there was many cases of accidents that involved Toyota cars. So yeah, some analysts instructed Toyota to conduct to conduct a recall to their cars entirely. But you know, Toyota was didn't immediately respond that instruction until 2009. Toyota only announced that the president of Toyota would be replaced by Akio Toyoda. Yeah, Akio Toyoda was the member of Toyoda's family, and simply Akio Toyoda and all of the expansion to the to all country to all country the world because Akio Toyoda wanted to return the principle of Toyota by prioritizing the quality. But unfortunately, in 2010, there was a there was a demand. There was a demand. There was a demand that Toyota had to recall. They had to recall its cars because there were so many report accidents. There were so many accidents report that involved Toyota cars. But yeah, actually, that that demand already like already echoed 2 years 2 years before, but it was just neglected. The response of Toyota itself, the response of president of Toyota at the time was very slow, and until 2010 was the peak of the demand recall of the Toyota cars. There are three three major reasons why Toyota had to recall their cars. First, because of pedal entrapment. Yeah, Toyota had a pedal entrapment in their cars. So Toyota recalled 3.8 million of their cars. Then the second reason, because of sticky pedal. Yeah, because of sticky pedal, and it also caused an accident. Toyota recalled their vehicle about 2.3 million cars. And the last reason is there was a brake problem, yeah, brake problem, and it was proven by the accident in 2009 that killed four passengers. So yeah, the three major were pedal entrapment, sticky pedal, and brake problem. So yeah, of course, those impact the sales of Toyota at the time. But after that, Toyota also, like fixed their brand, fixed their image. Suddenly Toyota company repair the problem and finished any problem to their car, and until nowadays Toyota could sustain as a giant well-known car maker company in this world. So yeah, that's all the story. Thank you.